Welcome to the podcast formerly known as Emergency Protocol. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Denise.
That's still my mama.
And that's still my baby.
We're also still stressy and depressy, just with a new name.
Because apparently Emergency Protocol sounded too much like we were selling first aid kits.
So, welcome to 12 Steps for Everyone.
Whether you're in recovery like me,
or managing mental health like I am, these steps are the guardrails that keep us on the road.
Whether we're going one day at a time,
or just trying to conquer Laundry Mountain.
Let's get into it before we change the name again. Hi.
Hello.
Oof. It's May, what? 2nd?
Oh God, I
May
hate
2nd?
That. Don't tell me that.
It's May 2nd.
Oof.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So today we're kind of both feeling a little bit of like Mental Health Awareness Month couldn't come at a better time.
Yes. Yep.
So Jackie's in the end, coming around the bend of her last days of her first year in grad school. And I am planning a mental health kind of day at the office. So anyway,
yeah.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right.
I feel like all of our conversations have kind of been blending together. So I don't remember if I've fully talked about this, but I started a new medication and I realize it makes me very, very tired. I'm not sure if it's a dosing question, but for now, as of like last week, I started taking it at night instead of in the morning. And I've noticed a little bit of a change. So that is good in terms of mental health awareness and also just like being in tune with my body, right? And recognizing like what tools are helpful and what are not and how to best implement them and all of that. So all that to say, I have a lot on my plate, a lot to do. I've got all of my like final papers, and then also tomorrow I have they scheduled 3 hours for it, but it's like our comprehensive like knowledge assessment for the end of our first year. So just a lot of things going on. And then also like still in practicum doing hours, and there's other stuff going on. Yeah. So all the things, feeling very aware of my mental health, focusing very much on primal needs right now. That was the thing that I got from my therapist a couple years ago. Shout out Lynn, which is like, have you eaten? Have you slept? Have you had water? Have you like bathed yourself? Have you gone to the bathroom? Right? Hungry, angry, lonely, tired, horny.
Yeah.
Health. Anyways, we're forgetting about that last one for now. Who has the time? But recognizing that there is no like one magic pill or one thing that I can do that's going to like flip the switch for me being well. Not that I'm searching for like a magic bullet or like whatever, but recognizing that it's this combination of things in my toolkit, right? And I have to be attuned with myself to recognize what's serving me, what's not serving me, what do I need versus like what do I want. And where can I offer myself grace? Where can I offer myself grace, but also still give myself like a giddy up? Yeah.
So I want to dig in a little bit on some of that. So the medication that you're talking about is Lexapro, right?
Yes.
That you're taking that makes you kind of sleepy. And so are you feeling less sleepy?
I'm still sleepy in the morning, but I'm always sleepy in the morning. No matter how much rest I get, I don't wake up feeling rested. And so mornings, I'm definitely still moving slow, but during the day, I notice that I like am not as, I don't want to say like muted. It's not even like I'm like zombie-like or sedated. It's just like everything is like almost too calm, if that makes sense. but it doesn't feel like I'm not functional. Like I'm still
Right.
able to do all of my things. It's just like my brain's working a lot harder to get brain stuff done.
Got it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like my brain is working hard to get stuff done, but it's more like ADHD. Like, I have so many spreadsheets I'm looking at these days and so
Mm,
many different like projects that have deadlines and
mm-hmm.
I'm like, which one? And then I forget, or
Mm-hmm.
I'm tasked with, reviewing all of these sheets for my direct reports, and then my boss calls me on Friday. He's like, it looks like you didn't do the thing. And I was like, oh my God, I was totally focused on everybody else and I didn't do my own, like
No.
assessment of this thing that I needed to
Yeah.
do. And yeah, I don't think I'm alone in that. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
holding attention is really challenging right now
Mm-hmm.
for a continuous thread of stuff to do. For people who don't know what a practicum is, can you tell us what
Mm-hmm.
that is?
Yeah, it's like an internship basically. I'm a student worker at a nonprofit right now. And for social work students who are doing a master's, you have to do two of those. One is 360 hours and the other one is 600 hours. And that's broken down, at least at my school, into 120 hours per credit. So right now I'm doing 2 credits in the spring semester, and then I have 1 credit left for summer. So cranking away, trying to get as much of that done as possible within that time frame so that I can start my next practicum, which I will need. Well, I really want to start this summer because I don't have to do 3 credits of internship when I am in class.
Right.
It's a lot. It's a lot to do 2 credits. So balancing that, yeah, and just figuring out, you know, how to keep everything moving, right? Like I have my calendar, but also all of the dates kind of get shifted. I think that's one hard thing that my brain struggles to keep track of is like at the beginning of this semester I wrote out all of my assignments when they're due so I could see kind of like the landscape of what the semester would look like, any travel, that kind of stuff. But the hard part for me is that the assignments sometimes get shifted, like the due dates. And
Mm,
then like it just changes the flow of what I thought I was preparing for. I'm noticing that I have a hard time changing like that kind of expectation if I've already formed a plan for how I'm going to move forward.
right.
So I'm trying to be a little bit more flexible and yeah.
So on that calendar,
Hmm.
do you put benchmarks like, okay, if this thing's due 30 days from now, then you have like part one is completed like by the end of this week, part two is completed by the end of the following week, part three. Like, do you have ways that you compartmentalize the calendar to inch you along the way, or do you just have the date there?
Well, so this calendar, which is called the big ass calendar, which is hilarious, doesn't have enough room for that much detail, right? So
Got
it's
it.
just like the assignment name, right? And then other important due dates or deadlines that I have for other school stuff.
Got it.
So, yeah, but I have also found I'm going to the writing center, which is I feel like maybe people, especially who are in higher education in general, but particularly in graduate programs, feel embarrassed about accessing the services that are available because it's like, oh, I'm in a master's program. I should know how to write a paper. So why
Mm-hmm.
would I need to go to the writing center? And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no, like I need that help because my little like spaghetti squirrel brain over here is just like pulling together all of these thoughts and then I realize that maybe the order doesn't make sense or I'm trying to pull in too many details and I need to kind of like thin that back out or just the accountability honestly is really helpful for me and so I have been unabashed about using that resource and it's helpful like it's helped me also kind of re reevaluate my writing process as well because how I worked in undergrad is not feasible for how I have to work right now.
Interesting. I have a big ass calendar, but it's on my wall. It's a
Mm.
dry erase calendar, but it has the whole year on it because I
Mm.
can't visualize week by week. Like I live off of my Google Calendar. Like I
Mm-hmm.
just do what's on there, but I can at work. What will happen is somebody will reach out to me and say, "Can I present to the office on whatever date, May 3rd?"
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say, I'll look on my calendar, my week calendar, and it's like, sure, that's open. What I don't see is that we already have an event on the 4th, and we have an event on the
Mm-hmm.
10th, and we have an event on the 20th, and there's too much going on, and I only have
Mm-hmm.
so much social capital I can use each
Yeah.
month for my agents. And so I need to spread it out. And so for me, having a big calendar, it's
Mm-hmm.
got like when the staff's taking vacations,
Hmm.
when I'm taking vacations, when we have guest speakers coming in or special regional events. So like
Mm-hmm.
I can see what's coming. It makes it just so much easier for me to process what is actually happening rather than a week by week or even a month in the Google Calendar because you have to
Mm.
expand all of those things to see what's really going on. That has helped me a lot. It's ugly. It's not pretty on my office, but it sure
Yeah.
does make me feel a lot more functional there for
Hmm.
sure. I don't know where else I was going to go with that, but oh, what else is on my calendar are the Angel City games because,
Mm-hmm.
a girl's got to know
Gotta
when
do
she's
it.
going to a game,
Yeah. Yes.
which is
Actually, though.
today at 5:45.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm jealous.
So, yeah, I think, it is challenging when you think, and I'm the same way. It's like, okay, I think I have these like four things I need to do. And then something new gets introduced and it throws off the whole workflow of what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, I have my baseline things that I need to keep going while
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing that. And I proposed to my boss, I read this like a book of the month kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing that is put together by Malcolm Gladwell and I think Adam Grant and a couple of other, Daniel Pink and
Mm-hmm.
another woman, I can't remember her name right now. And they put together these non-fictional books. And one of them, I think it was called Algorithm, or I think that's what it was called. But
Mm-hmm.
it was about, and I hate to say this because I fucking hate this guy, but Tesla, how Tesla took away, like subtracted, like
Mm-hmm.
they got more productive and streamlined because
Mm-hmm.
they took away and didn't add. And so it's like just because something's always been done that way, does it have to be done that
Mm-hmm.
way? Or do we really need a meeting when this could have been an email? Do I really
Mm-hmm.
need to flesh this out or like do because, in something that's going on at work, I realize we're having an outsized reaction to what's actually happening, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like we're reacting to something that's happened to 23 of 6,500 things, right? Like so
Mm-hmm.
why should we give all this energy to something that has only happened
Mm-hmm.
23 times out of 6,500 times,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's like, oh, okay, I'm not going to really give that the same kind of energy. I'll treat it when it happens
Mm-hmm.
with the right response,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to just keep moving on. Like, I don't need to
Mm-hmm.
keep doing all these meetings around this
Yeah.
thing that's not really happening in
Yeah.
my area.
Like
So,
triaging.
yeah. And so,
Mm-hmm.
or preparing or solution, coming up with alternate.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, well, so it's interesting in that context
Mm-hmm.
of reactivity versus kind of planning ahead and being proactive about
Mm-hmm.
what it is we're going to do or not do in leadership, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
in leadership, then it trickles down to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to my boss yesterday and he's like, "Oh yeah, let's spend an afternoon." Like one of our managing director calls on this because it's like, it's overwhelming the amount
Mm-hmm.
of, I get well over 100 emails a day,
Mm-hmm.
probably 20 of them are essential and the rest is noise, right? And so like I
Mm-hmm.
need to just be able to go like, no. I'm also listening to this book of this woman right now who's very, I think, controversial. Her name is Emma
Mm.
Greedy, Grede.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like start with yourself or start with me, something
Mm.
like that. You know, she has very strong opinions about parenthood and
Mm-hmm.
working remotely and hustle and,
Mm-hmm.
but what one thing that I really like about what she's saying is that, we, especially women, will not tell the whole truth to somebody
Mm.
in the vein of sparing their feelings, when
Mm-hmm.
it would be much better to just be honest with them so that they're not going down a road that just seems like not great. Not in
Mm-hmm.
she was talking about it in a business sense. So this is a business
Sure.
book, like when
Mm-hmm.
people bring her ideas and want her to invest in something, she's
Mm-hmm.
like, no, I'm not doing that. And will rather suffer the wrath of that than
Mm-hmm.
making somebody feel good about something that it's not ever going to work. And she's like, sometimes I'm wrong, but and she also talked about picking up her kids
Mm-hmm.
and having one of the teachers saying, "It's so good to see you," in that kind of
Mm.
weird way. And she's like, "Look, I don't ever want you to say that to me again. You would never say that to my husband or any dad that comes to pick up their kid. Like
Mm.
I am a businesswoman. I like you, you know what I mean? And so there's this
Mm-hmm.
weird guilt trip expectation, especially for
Mm-hmm.
working mothers that are like, "Oh, I'm glad you made time for your kids." And she's like, "I'm not making fucking birthday crowns for my kids' birthday. Like
Mm-hmm.
they'll make the crown there and she's like, "I'm not doing work where my kid's not there." She's like, "I don't need to be at something that my kid isn't at. To me, that's not serving my kid." And so it's an interesting thing because,
Mm.
she's got, I mean, I somewhat disagree with that because I'm on
Mm-hmm.
the way other side of that
Mm.
world now.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to dinner last night with three moms who I served on the PTA
Mm-hmm.
thing with, and we're still friends.
But that's
Like,
no longer about the kids. That's become a personal relationship.
right, but I would not have a personal relationship with these women if I had not served as the vice president and president of the PTA of your
Mm.
school, which you were not a part of at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned some leadership stuff in those roles
Mm.
of diplomacy and
Mm-hmm.
politics and what can be said or not said or what can be done and not done and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
thing that was helpful in my business world as well,
Mm.
right? So,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to her with a grain of salt, but I love that she's unapologetically who
Mm.
she is. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, fuck it, if you don't like me, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so I think too, we're going into this, mental health awareness month, and I
Mm-hmm.
scheduled a programming day of fun in the office.
Mm-hmm.
Not just fun. I mean, part of me feels kind of spiritually bypassy, but also feels like, hey, part of mental health is creating space to
Mm-hmm.
just be
Mm.
and not feel like you have to hustle or whatever. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do a little gratitude thing for like a half
Mm-hmm.
hour. We're going to have like a wellness bar with drinks
Mm-hmm.
and snacks and whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
there's a room where we're gonna have like you can make friendship bracelets or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. I also bought, this will be out after that, so I can talk about what I'm doing. I
Mm-hmm.
bought like little rocks with words on them so that people
Mm-hmm.
can have a rock to be intentional with, that they have to go into like this velvet bag and grab, and then
Mm-hmm.
so they can't see it. They just have
Mm-hmm.
to get what they get. And then
Mm.
I'm debating whether to make them talk about it or not. I probably will as part of my
Mm-hmm.
little gratitude piece. I'm going to have people, I got this from my daughter who loves to write postcards. I have all of these really beautiful orchid postcards, and I'm going to have everybody write a letter of gratitude to somebody specifically about why they are grateful
Mm-hmm.
for them because I've read and heard over and over that gratitude should be expressed specifically and intentionally
Mm-hmm.
and directly to the person, and it's more effective than a gratitude list or a gratitude, like a generic gratitude expression in a
Mm-hmm.
journal. And I'm debating having them share on that. And then I have a couple of guest speakers. One is not really in the mental health thing, but
Mm-hmm.
he will help with it doesn't sound right, but it is right in that he's a permit expediter and people need help
Mm-hmm.
in the Palisades with
Mm-hmm.
their rebuilding of their life. And this is one of their like it's a complex kind of
Mm-hmm.
world, and most just lay people can't navigate it by themselves. And so it's kind of like, how can we help our people, work through these big blocks of when there's all these other millions of decisions that need to be made?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this can help alleviate some of that pressure for them in this one
Mm-hmm.
specific area. Then we have a sound bath going on, and I've booked my tarot card reader, and I have also asked because I was, as I was looking at our day, I feel like it was very feminine focused. And so I talked
Mm-hmm.
to our couple of our guys who I have three guys in the office who
Mm-hmm.
literally bring in baseball mitts and they play catch at the end of the day when the parking lot's
So
empty in the
cute.
back.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, playing catch is also a form of like decompressing and like just like you're just throwing the ball and
Mm-hmm.
goofing off with your friends, right? So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, bring your footballs and your mitts and gloves and you can
Mm-hmm.
play catch in the back, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
just allowing some space for play, I think is also
Mm-hmm.
important. I also bought a whole thing of like fidgety things. I bought
Mm-hmm.
those finger massagers that your professor handed out at that
Mm-hmm.
one thing we went to, and
Nice.
they're little like coils that you place on your finger and just move around. It's like
Mm-hmm.
a tactile thing, and then a whole bowl of other tactile things. And you should have
Mm.
seen like people were like, "Oh, like already."
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. Just, acknowledging that there is a need to accept when things are a little harder
Mm-hmm.
than usual, which it feels like things have been a little harder than usual for a while now in all kinds of areas of our life.
You mean we're not okay? We haven't been okay. We're not
And
getting better on our own.
no. And so, like, let's collectively come together, acknowledge it,
Mm-hmm.
and be okay with it, and be together and supportive of
Yeah.
the fact that it is hard right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's hard to be focused when the news is talking about war and it's talking about, all of the shit that goes on every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, this or
Mm-hmm.
that or the other. And then mixed in that is all these joyful things too,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not all black and white. There's gray in there too, but it's like, how do you move in those worlds
Mm-hmm.
and not get sucked into one completely? So I'm looking forward to that. We're
Mm-hmm.
also having lunch catered, and it's just
Nice.
like it feels like a good day in the
Mm-hmm.
office. Then I'm like, I'm I'm totally fucking with all of my other people, like where I'm on my managing director call last week and they're like, "So what are you doing?" I was like, "We're having a day of wellness. You want to come get your chakra cleansed?" And one of the ladies was like, "That sounds dirty." I was like, "Depends on which
Only,
chakra
yeah.
where you're cleansing, lady."
That's hilarious. Oh my
Oh
God.
my
So you're
God.
not the only non-HR appropriate person on the
No,
call.
no, no.
That's hilarious.
So, yeah, it's really,
Hmm.
and again, we have to find some silliness in these. Like, it just can't be
Yeah.
all grind, 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 right? Like,
Hmm.
yeah. So we'll see how
Yeah.
the turnout is. I'll tell you in a couple weeks what that day ended
Mm.
up being, if it was the respite that people were looking for, but I think it'll
Yeah.
be no matter what, a
Hmm.
pause in all of what's going on to
Yeah.
allow people to just come in and be silly. I also
Hmm.
bought, which I haven't, I don't know if I'll probably put it in somewhere during the day.
Mm.
Online, I was being targeted on Instagram, which is my
Hmm.
weakness, and I'm not the only one. So,
No, you're
okay.
not.
There is this guy who has, in a very German voice, says 30-second dance party, and he hits this button, and it's like bump, bump, bump. It's
Oh,
like it's like
funny.
it's like,
That's
and
amazing.
so there's three different like tones that come through. And I'll probably hit that a few times during the
Nice.
day, and I'll frame it in the beginning of the day so that people know when the
Yeah.
thing
So
is
they know
hit.
what's
Like
happening. Yeah.
that, you just got to do it.
Nice.
But what I saw today that reinforced
Mm.
that thought was there was a guy in Central Park who
Mm.
just got up and just started dancing. And he was
Hmm.
dancing with like reckless abandon, just
Mm.
fucking letting his freak fly everywhere. And it was a few minutes that he was alone. And then
Hmm.
another woman joined him. And then a third
Mm.
person joined him. And then this like whole area of this picnicky park in Central Park were dancing, and it was like
Mm.
and he was talking about how one person can cause a movement, right? Like
Mm.
everybody's uncomfortable at first and you don't want to do it, but then you see, and then there's this momentum, and then you just gravitate towards it
Mm.
and change happens. So anyway,
Nice.
I loved that. Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
We did something kind of similar in one of my for our last class, in my environmental justice and macro mental health course. We had a guest speaker who brought in storytelling dice. And so there were like, I think 4 dice, and you shake it up and then roll it, and then you had to make a story based on including the 4 elements that came up. And we just went around the, so we played like spin the bottle, and the next person had to go and like create their own story. And everybody was really uncomfortable at first. Like, I don't know how to make
Mhm.
up a story. Like the people who don't
Right.
have a creative writing practice or don't have kids were like, I don't
Hmm.
know what to do. Or even the ones
Right.
who do have kids were like, ah.
Right.
And so it was a good exercise in like A, being creative and getting uncomfortable in like a very low stakes, like low risk way that was still very silly. Like
Hmm.
I had a family of paddles who were going down the river, right? And then like someone else was like, oh yeah, we were camping and we saw a squirrel. So it was all like nature themed, but that
Right.
was a very kind of similar exercise in terms of like silly discomfort that everybody can participate in.
Right.
Yeah. And then the other thing, one thing that I started doing in my meetings for practicum, I have supervision every week where I meet with my supervisors and kind of go over what I did each week and the projects I'm working on, meetings I sit in on, etc. And at the very end, they really have been emphasizing the importance of self-care. That's part of like the social work, like code of ethics preamble now, I think even. And so I started having us all share our self-care, either like what we did in the
Mm.
last week or what we're doing moving forward. And now I'm starting to end any kind of like one-on-one meeting that I have with my professors in that way too. And framing it as like I do this at practicum, so I'm going to do this here because I'm just crowdsourcing ideas for like how to be well, right? Or what that looks like in all these various roles. But that's been really good, and it's helped me kind of evaluate my self-care plan within across a bunch of
Mm.
different dimensions. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
We're all just doing the best we can with what we've got, right? Whatever tools
yes.
are within reach, just grab them and use them. And,
Yes.
kind of going back to what you said, in our 12 steps for everyone, on step one, we're not
Mm-hmm.
okay. We've not been okay, and we're not getting better on our own.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier and more joyful to work with others,
Mm-hmm.
to try and, I mean, that in my world, that is kind of like the beginning of the formation of something, my relationship to something bigger. But something bigger can also be crowdsourcing.
Mm-hmm.
Something bigger can also be just asking for help from a friend who's are also
Yeah.
going through what you're going through, or has been through what you're going through and
Mm-hmm.
got to the other side. Like, how did you
Oh yeah.
do it?
We're doing a lot of body doubling in my program right now. It's a lot of like
Mm,
asking for what I need and then also kind of like gentle parenting. Like if it doesn't cost me or like it doesn't conflict with something that I've already committed to or doesn't hurt other people, to
yeah,
say yes more than I'm saying no. Right?
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so
So,
I was also,
mm,
in one of my woo-woo forecasts told
mm-hmm.
to say yes to all the invitations that are coming my way. And so it's like,
Mm,
I didn't want to go to this thing, but I'm gonna go. Like
mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say yes. Like for the month of
Mm-hmm.
May, I think I'm just gonna say yes to stuff. And so
Mm-hmm.
we'll see what happens.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Wait,
Well,
one more thing that I'm doing. Sorry.
yes.
I just keep
Yes.
thinking of things. I'm like, oh, I
I love
actually
it.
am kind of doing a lot
Yes, you
to
are.
be well. I realize I'm very attached to my phone. I haven't realized this. I've known this for a long time. I'm very attached to my phone. It does help me, like being able to listen to an audiobook while I'm doing the dishes is very helpful because that distraction makes that task way less boring. And I've started trying to like microdose being away from my phone, which sounds so stupid, but like
Mm.
taking the dog outside to pee, leaving my phone, even though I'm like, oh, what if something happens? What if there's an emergency and I need my phone and I need to call, or like my key card doesn't work and I need to use my phone to get back in? Like leaving my phone or doing the dishes, doing like 5 minutes of dishes without my headphones in, right? It's hard though. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not
I
bringing my phone into the bathroom, which is gross, but we all do it.
yeah. I think I did that too in Santa Barbara. I was like, "Oh, I should take a
Mm.
picture of that." And I was like, "No, I think I should
Hmm.
just
Yeah,
enjoy
you
it
said that.
and look at it and just be
Mm.
okay looking at that log without having to take its picture."
Mm.
Like,
Interesting.
because then I was actually there and present
Hmm.
and not like framing the photo.
Yeah.
Right? Like, is that the best light? Is that the best angle? Is that the best thing?
Mm.
Instead, I'm just like looking at this dead log that has this giant, like, mushroom thing happening all the
Mm.
way up, right? Yep. I did end up taking the picture after I stared at it for a while because I thought it
Sure.
was so cool. But I did stare at it for a while before I did
Hmm.
that, right? And
Yeah.
decided to take the picture rather than
Hmm.
automatically like narrating this life
Yes.
and
Mm.
and not really being there for it.
Nice.
Interesting. Yeah. So,
Cool.
yeah,
We're doing it.
we're doing it.
We're
We're
not
doing
okay, but we're doing it.
we're not okay, but we're more okay than we have been. And I just want to say one thing
True.
too, and that speaks to that.
Mm.
Earlier this week, you were like, "Oh, I don't know, like I have so much stuff, it doesn't feel
Hmm.
good."
Hmm.
And I responded with like, you got to give yourself credit that you've come to this place where you still have all this work, but
Hmm.
you've come to this place. Like you
Mm.
have this big trail behind you of breadcrumbs that you've left during this school year that have gotten you to this place where you still have, yeah, there's more to go,
Hmm.
but don't discount yourself because there's more to go because you've already done so much. And I think
Hmm.
we do that as humans. It's like, oh, well, I'm not, I will say I'm not enough because I didn't do this thing
Hmm.
when I've already done so many things. It's
Hmm.
like I just don't give myself any credit for
Yeah.
what has already been done because I'm already looking to what has to be done ahead of me. And I think that's the best way to look back.
Hmm.
Instead of regretfully, it's
Mm.
like, oh, I because my weekly newsletter this week was about comparing ourselves to ourselves. The
Mm-hmm.
comparison, is it Teddy Roosevelt?
Mm,
Comparison is the thief of joy.
mm,
And what is the question behind the question? So as a real estate professional, you're at a party and people are like, how's the market?
mm-hmm.
And so I was always looking for the question under the question, like, are they thinking about selling? Do they want to
Mm-hmm.
know how much their house is worth? Do they want to know
Mm,
if it went up or down? Are they going to buy for their kid? Like, what is
mm-hmm.
the question under the question? And then I wrote about the question under that. How I get that from my agents is, how
Mm-hmm.
is the market doing? Which is like, not only do they get the question, but then they ask me the question, which is, how am I measuring up against my peers?
Mm,
Am I busy
mm-hmm.
enough or not busy enough? And da 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 da. And
Mm-hmm.
I talked about just measuring yourself against yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
usually, depending on the day and the minute, sometimes I'm usually ahead. I'm
Mm,
usually comparing myself to me, like, I'm doing pretty fucking good considering
nice.
all of what could have been.
Mm,
And then I ended it with, as an office, we're up year over year. And so if you want to
nice.
know, comparing our us to us, we're doing
Mm-hmm.
great and it doesn't matter what the market's doing. We're doing great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Nice.
So,
Mm,
yeah, so that felt really good.
solid.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
We're in it. We're doing it.
We're doing it. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to doing it together. We're not doing it alone.
And we're gonna drink it. We're gonna
Yes.
drink the water. Stay hydrated.
Yes. And it would be super helpful if you commented or shared or liked or followed our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're really trying to get the word out to people that there is another tool in the toolkits
Mm-hmm.
that we are using to help manage and survive our
And there's a
lives.
third space.
Yes.
Like there's a new third space.
Yes. And you're welcome to join us. And if you know
Mm-hmm.
somebody who would be benefiting by knowing there's a third space,
Mm-hmm.
we'd like for them to know about it too. And
Yeah.
as of right now, we've paused our online
Mm-hmm.
meeting on Saturday, but it will reappear as soon as we know how that's going to go. I
Mm-hmm.
think we decided that Saturday mornings were just too, as the weather's nicer and people are out and people are doing things.
Traveling. Yeah.
Yeah, that Saturday mornings was not the ideal time. So it'll
Mm-hmm.
reemerge as we figure out our calendars and what that's going to look like. So just
Mm-hmm.
know, if you're interested in that, please sign up on our website, the 12
Mm-hmm.
steps for everyone, and we'll send you the link when we have the new link ready. And yeah, we really appreciate you even listening. And we know that there are people who do listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for being here. I feel really grateful that somebody feels like takes time out of their day to listen to
Yeah.
us.
The hang.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'd like to know who you are. I'd like to see you. I'd like to hear what you have to say. I'd love to, like, ugh, I want to get into it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Slide into the DMs.
yes, slide
Mm-hmm.
as
Well,
as
okay.
the
No.
young people say, slide into the DMs.
All right. We're done.
Don't make your mom say that. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Delivery is everything. Okay, I love you. You're
I
a
love you
miracle.
too.
We're
Drink your water.
miracles. Yes.
And if you're driving,
Mm-hmm.
do not close your eyes. But
Yeah.
if you are not driving,
Or doing something where you need your eyeballs.
yeah, like chopping onions,
Mm-hmm. Sure.
close your eyes and think about what you're grateful for
Mm-hmm.
and just take a deep breath in and exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Woohoo.
Woohoo!
Okay. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
We want to hear from you.
Find us on Instagram and TikTok at 12 Steps for Everyone. That's at the number 12 Steps for Everyone.
Please like and follow us. You can also send us topics you want us to dig into or follow-up questions from each episode.
And if you know someone who would enjoy or benefit from our conversations, please feel free to share this with them. All are welcome here.